Okay, so welcome to the Problem Sums mini course lesson 1. All right. Okay, so we are from Math Accelerator Center and we're located at 1 Marine Parade Central, and we specialize in mathematics. We help students with borderline grades turn their results around within a short period of time. Okay, so what is our objectives for today's session? To help those of you who are struggling with problem sums to understand how to do it, all right? So if you have confidence issues in tackling problem sums, this is the right place for you to start. And then we'll demonstrate to you how to solve problem sums systematically. Okay, right. So what is the lesson outline for today? So today we're doing area and perimeter. So there'll be 3 levels to this course. All right, so the level 1 will be quite doable, right? Maybe you can solve it in 2-3 steps. All right. The level 2 will be slightly more, requires a bit of critical thinking. And level 3 will be higher order thinking. All right. So let's get right into it. So before that, right, some ground rules. So what happens is your audio will be muted at all times, okay? So communication will be only done via the chat. So please ask questions via the chat and don't spam the chat, right? Please be considerate. And lastly, listen attentively, write down the solutions, and most importantly, have fun. Okay, so do you all have your worksheets with you? I know one of you have not printed out yet. So if you have not printed out your worksheet yet, right, it's fine. You can print it out later. So for now, just refer to the screen, click down the solutions, and just participate, okay? All right, so as I mentioned earlier on, right, so there'll be 3 levels. So level 1 will have 2 questions, level 2 will have 3 questions, and level 3 will have a total of 3 more questions, okay? Okay, so let's get right into it. So level 1. Okay, so this kind of questions, right, will be very common. This kind of questions will be very common in your exam, okay, so please take note. Okay, so question 1. Find the area of the shaded part. So how will you do this? Okay, so first go and find the area of the bigger region. So bigger region means area of the... Okay, wait, this one you don't really have to do this, right? Okay. Now, if you look at the border, right, it's 8.2 and 5 meters. Okay, so now I'm going to ask the class, what do you think the length over here is? Okay, it's not too bright. Okay, what do you think the length over here is? Can you type in the chat? I just want to get a rough understanding. Well done. What about the rest? Okay, majority of you know, some of you give 7.2, some of you 6.2, right? Okay, for those of you who got 6.2, that is the classic careless mistake, okay? So if you see 8 point, the whole thing is 8.2, right? This border here is 2.2, 2 meters, and this border here is also 2 meters. So what you gotta do is take 8.2 minus 2 meters minus another 2 meters. So what you will get is 4.2 meters. Okay, so for those of you who got this wrong early on in the chat, right? Now it's your time to redeem yourself. Now, what is the length of this part here? This part here. What is the length? Or rather, what is the breadth over here? Type in the chat. Okay, very good. So now you all rectified your mistakes already. So 5 meters minus 1 meter minus 1 meter. So this will give you 3 meters. Okay, so you've got your length, which is 4.2, you've got your breadth, which is 2 meters. So what is the area of the shaded part? So write down area of the shaded part equals to 4.2 meters times 3 meters. Can you all type in the chat what is the final answer? Okay, make sure you write meter squared. So what's the final answer? Okay, well done. A majority of you got the right answer. It's 12.6 meter squared. Good. Okay, so this question here, right, will usually appear in exams. Okay, so get the marks. Don't make any careless mistakes. It's 3 marks right here. Okay, now let's move on to question number 2. Okay. The figure below shows a rectangular field measuring 18 meters by 14 meters. It has a path of width 3 meters around it. Find the perimeter of the part that is not shaded. So the part that is not shaded, right, is actually the field over here. Okay. So just draw this part. All right then. What is the length of the field? This unshaded part of the field. Okay, very good. Right, so write down length equals to 18 meters minus 3 meters minus another 3 meters. Okay, so you will get 12 meters. All right. Okay, why? It's because this 3 meters over here and this 3 meters over here needs to be taken into account. Do not forget that. All right then. Now let's go and find out what's the breadth. So what's the breadth? Can you type in the chat? Good, good. So breadth is 14 meters minus 3 meters minus another 3 meters. So this is 8 meters. Okay, so find the perimeter of the part that is not shaded. So find the perimeter. So it's 12 meters plus 8 meters plus another 12 meters plus another 8 meters. Okay, this is 12. This is 8. This is 12. This is 8 meters. So what's the total perimeter? Find out and let me know the answer in the chat. Okay. Yep, you get 14 meters. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Okay, so now we have moved on to level 2. Okay. The following figure is made up of 5 rectangles. What is the area of the shaded part? Okay, so whenever you see a question like this, right, don't panic. This, okay, can you write the side? This is an, okay, I wouldn't say association of length breastbone, right? Write this down. Associate length with breadth. Please write this down on the side. If you do not like this word, you can use words like link or relate, up to you. Okay, either one of these three. Relate length with breadth, link length with breadth, associate length with breadth, either one of them. Write this down, please, quickly. Okay, so once you've written this down, right, you know by heart that breadth is always shorter than length. Okay, you know this, right? So a question like this, what you're going to do is you're going to find out how many breadth equals to one length. Okay, so if you see all these rectangles, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're all the same rectangles here, right? So if you realize, right, this 24 cm is the length. Okay, write down length. Length equals to 24 cm. So where is the breadth? So here's the breadth, here's the breadth, here's the breadth, and here's the breadth, right? Now if you look inside the diagram, this is the breadth, this is the breadth, and this is the breadth, right? Okay, so please write this down inside here. 3 breadth. Okay, class. So if you look at this part here, 1, 2, 3. The 3 breadth makes up 1 length. Can you observe that? The 3 breadth over here equals to 1 length. You see that? Okay, so this is what I mean by associate length with breadth. Okay, so now you know 1 length is 24 cm, right? So write that down. So 3 breadth equals to 24 cm. Okay, so if 3 breadth equals to 24 cm, can you find out what is 1 breadth? 1 breadth equals to 24 cm divided by 3. You'll get 8 cm. All right then. So what is the area of the shaded part? So the area of the shaded part is one of the 5 identical rectangles which have a length of 24 cm and a breadth of 8 cm. So what is the area? So write down area equals to length times breadth, which equals to 24 cm times 8 cm. Right there. Go and find out the answer. Key in the chat, please. Correct. Right. So the answer is 192 cm squared. Well done. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the next question. Before about another 20 seconds to copy this down. Okay. All right, then let's move on to question number 2. The figure below is made up of 5 similar rectangles. The length of each rectangle is 12 cm. What is the perimeter of the whole figure? Okay. So again, we're going to associate length with breadth. Now the length, as you know, is, write down, length equals to 12 cm. So go and look at this diagram, right? Okay, can you go and see where all the breath? Go and put it down. So here's also the breath, breath, and breath. Okay, class, can you type in the chat? How many breath equals to one length? Just by observation. Okay, very good. 1, 2, 3. 3 breath equals to 1 length. So right now, 3 breath equals to 1 length. Okay, so you know one length, the length is 12 cm, right? So 3 breath equals to 12 cm. 1 breath equals to 12 cm divided by 3 equals to 4 cm. Okay, so let's go and find the perimeter of the whole figure. Okay, so go and put wherever there's 4 cm. So there's 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay, and for the length, it's 12 cm. So we're going to put 12. 12 is written here, 12 here, and 12 here. So perimeter of the whole figure. All right, class. So always remember, perimeter is always the total of the outline. So it's 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. Okay, can you calculate and let me know the answer? Okay, very good. So most of you got it. The answer is 64 cm. Okay, we have about 20 seconds before I move on to the next question. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Yeah, correct, 64. The figure below is made up of a rectangle and 2 squares. Now the perimeter of the figure is 48 cm and Qn equals to NR. Find the area of the square, MOST. Okay. Right, so when you look at this figure here, this is a rectangle and this is a square. Now, you know that a square, all sides are the same, right? So what happens if this side here of the square is the same side here? Okay, which means, okay, let's call this 10 cm for an example, okay? Don't confuse you. This 10 cm, this also 10 cm, which means this is also 10 cm. This is also 10 cm, right? Now, if you look bottom here, right, this is a square, correct? This is a square, and this is a square. So naturally, this will also be 10, and this is 10, which means on top here, PQ is actually 10 plus 10, which is 20 cm. So if you look all around, right, this is 20 cm. There's also a total of 20. There's also a total of 20, and there's also a total of 20. Okay, so what can you tell me of the shape P, Q, R, T? What shape is this then? Type in the chat. Okay, so for those of you who don't get it right, let's use another number. Okay, let's say 5 cm. So this line tells you that if this is 5, this has to be 5. Now, since this is a square, right? This has to be 5 as well. This has to be 5. Now, this side's 5, this side has to be 5. This side's 5, this side has to be 5. So TR is 10, PP is also 10. So what shape is this then? Okay, yeah. So PQRT is actually a square. We can confirm that this is a square. Okay, good. So now, if the perimeter of the figure is 48 cm, what we can do is take 48 cm and then divide it by 4. We will get 12 cm. Okay, so this is 12, then this is also 12. And this is also 12. And this will also be 12. All right then. So can you find what is the length of MT? Can you type in the chat? What's the length of MT then? Very good. You take 12 cm, you simply divide it by 2. You get 6 cm. All right then. So find the area of the, please highlight the word square. A square means all sides are the same, right? So area of square, MOST, equals to the same side multiplied by the same side, length times length. So that will equals to 36 cm squared. Before about a minute to copy this down. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the next question. Okay, now we are entering into level 3. Okay. In the figure below, 2 similar triangles were cut out from a square piece of paper of area 100 cm square. So find the shaded area of the piece of paper left. Okay, so there are many ways to do this. All right, there are many ways to do this, but there is one easy way. Okay, so first, can you highlight this part here? Square piece of paper. Okay, which means all sides are the same here. Okay, so next, right, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line right in the middle. Cut this. And then we're going to draw a line from here. We're going to cut this a bit. Okay, guys, what do you all see now? Four parts, right? Okay, be more specific. What four parts? Describe the parts. Are they equal or not? The four parts. Yep. Yes. So what you're seeing now is four equal parts. Okay, why there are four equal parts is because the larger thing here, the big figure here is a square. When you divide the square and cut in the middle like this, right, you'll get four smaller equal parts. Okay. So since these are four equal parts, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to dissect it just a little bit more further depth. All right. Now, can you type in the chat how many triangles do you all see now? Okay, some say 6, some say 8. I'm asking for the total triangles that you see right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These 8 triangles make up the entire square. Okay, so can you write down 8 equal triangles? Okay, can you type in the chat? These 8 equal triangles, what is the area? Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It comprises of the whole square, which is, yeah, 100 cm squared. Okay, so now it becomes a lot easier. You want to find the area of the shaded part, right? So go and find for 1 equal triangle. What's the area? Take 100 cm square. We divide by 8. Okay, so go and take 100, divide by 8. So 1 minus 8, you get 2, bring down the 0. So 12 times 8 is 16. 4, bring down the 0 again, so it's 0.5. 5 times 8 is 40, so 0. So one equal triangle is 12.5 cm squared. Okay, to find the shaded area, can you type in the chat how many triangles does that equal to then? Yep. What about the rest? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Correct. 6 equal triangles. Plus the 12.5 cm squared times 6. What does this equal to? Okay, so just take 12.5 times with 6. 5 times 6, 30. 2 times 6, 12, plus 3 is 15. Bring up the 1. 1 times 6 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So the answer is 75 cm squared. Okay, good. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, this one's interesting. The following figure is not drawn to scale. Okay, so no point measuring it with your ruler, right? You just have to use the information given to you. So it's made up of a rectangle and two squares. The squares are A and B. Square A has an area of 49 cm square. Square B has an area of 36 cm square. To find the perimeter of the shaded part. Okay, so this is 49 cm square. This is 36 cm square. Okay, now can you type in the chat, right? What do you know about squares? Anything that you know, all of you. What do you all know about squares? Anything? Okay, very good. Okay, let's see a few more. Yep. Okay, you guys got the point. Very good. All sides are equal. Okay. Now, can you type in the chat? What is the formula for area of a square? How about the rest? What's the formula for area of a square? Come on, guys. Okay, good. Length times breadth. Okay. Now you guys said that for a square, right, all sides are equal, right? So when it comes to finding an area, isn't the length times the breadth the same value? Yes. It's the same number times the same number. Agree? Okay. So what we're going to do now, right? Since you're in primary 4, it's now a good time for you to identify what a square number is. Okay. So on your left-hand column, right, you're going to write this. 1 times 1 equals to 1 cm square. Write that down. Next one. 2 times 2 equals to 4 cm square. Next number. 3 times 3 equals to 9 cm square. In your exams also, right, at the column, do this. 4 times 4 equals to 16 cm square. Keep going till I say stop. Okay, next one. 5 times 5 equals to 25 cm square. 6 times 6 equals to 36 cm square. 7 times 7 equals to 49 cm square. Okay, good. One more. 8 times 8 equals to 64 cm square. Okay, write this down on the side. So here's where your multiplication table comes in very handy. Okay, so now the question here, right, talked about two different squares, right? One is 49 cm square, one is 36 cm square. So let's go and identify where the 49 cm square is, which is right here, 49 cm square. Okay, what about the square B, 36 cm square? Where is it? 149, 16, 25. Okay, 36 is over here. All right then. Now, can you tell me what is the length of B? Type in the chat. Good. Length of B is 6. I'm going to write it in green. This is 6 cm. This is 6 cm. Okay, guys, class, what is the length of A? All right, very good. Length of A is 7. This part also 7. Okay, so this kind of question, right? Do it step by step, okay? Be patient. All right then. Okay, good. So now that we got this out of the way, right? Let's go and find the perimeter of the shaded figure. Okay, so this part involves one more technique. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, right? Okay, you see this part here is 6 cm, right? This part here is 6 cm, right? Which means this part here is 6 cm, correct? Okay, write that down. 6 cm. Now for A, right, this part here is 7 cm, which means this part here is also 7 cm, correct? Okay. So as far as the shaded figure goes now, we got all the sides here, 6, 7, 7, 6. So what we are left here now, right, is this part here. This part here, the blue part here. What is the length here? Okay, so for the blue part there, right, you take 14 cm minus 7 cm. That will get you 7 cm. So this part here is 7 cm. Okay then, so what about this part here? What's the length? This part here, right, is 14 cm minus off this little 6 cm here. You will get 8 cm. Okay. Okay, so now can you guys go and calculate what's the perimeter now and let me know in the chat? Give you all the details here, go and find the perimeter. Oops. Apologies. This one is 6 cm. Okay, guys. So when you take 7 cm plus 6 cm plus 7 cm plus 6 cm, the left hand side, right hand side done, plus 8 cm plus 7 cm. When you do this, right, okay, if you give me a total answer, you will be wrong. Okay, why? Because there's one little part here that is still missing, which is this part here. Little tricky part here, which is missing. So what is the length of that? Okay, so a little bit of visualization needs to take place here, right? So this little part here is actually this length minus this length. 8 cm minus 7 cm. So this part here, this little part here, is actually 1 cm. So please add the 1 cm in. Okay, now proceed to give me the final answer. So done. So the final answer is 42 cm. The two sixes are here. Okay, then let's move on to the next question. Okay, in the figure below ABC, ABC are squares. The area of A is 4 times the area of B. The area of B is 4 times the area of C. The area of C is 4 cm squared. What is the perimeter of the figure? Okay, now they give you the area of C, right? Okay. So if the area of C is 4 cm squared, what's the area of B? Can you write that down? Area of B. It's 4 cm squared times 4 equals to 16 cm squared. You don't take 4 plus 4, that's wrong, man. You must take 4 cm squared times 4, that is 16 cm squared. Now, what is the area of A? Can you type in the chat, what's the area of A? Okay, Ahmad, no. Area of A is 4 times the area of B. The area of B is 16 cm squared. This is 16 cm squared. So area of A is 4 times the area of B, means must take 16 cm squared times 4. That will get you 64 cm squared. Okay, so remember earlier on I told you to write down a list of square numbers. Can we do that now? 1 times 1 equals to 1. 2 times 2 equals to 4. 3 times 3 equals to 9. 4 times 4. 5 times 5. 6 times 6. 7 times 7. And 8 times 8. Okay, 4 times 4. And now you should know it's 16 cm squared. 5 times 5. 25. 6 times 6. 36 cm squared. 7 times 7. 29 cm squared. 8 times 8. 64 cm squared. All right then, so go and highlight all the three areas. We got 4 cm squared highlighted. We got 16 cm squared highlighted. And we got 64 cm squared. All right then. So now I'm going to ask the class question by question answer, okay? What is the length of C? Length of C. So answer. This is 2 cm. Okay, what's the length of B? It's written here. If B is 16 cm squared, the length of B is 4 cm. All right then, what's the length of A? Length of A is 8 cm. Now the question wants you to find the perimeter. Okay, so right, this question, right, is what we like. Okay, so at the side here, please write down. This question is what we like to call the staircase. Okay, when you see a staircase like this, right, you know that there is definitely a shortcut to follow. Okay, and I'll teach you the shortcut here. Now, I'm going to highlight this length here and this length here and this length here. Okay, so this length here is 8 cm. Okay, back 8 cm. This length here is 4 cm, and this length here is 2 cm. So what's the total? 8 plus 4 plus 2. 8 plus 4 is 12. 12 plus 2 is 14 cm. Okay. Which means this whole length here, from here till here, this whole length here is 14 cm. So this 14 cm, 1, 2, 3 is also 14 cm. Okay, now I'm going to use a different color. What is the length of this purple line here? Can anyone tell me? Very good. So this is 8 cm, right? Okay, good. Now, what is the length of this plus this plus this? Okay, if you can't visualize, right, let me help you out here. Okay. Okay, what do you see? This portion here adds up to here. This portion here adds up to here. This portion here adds up to here. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals to? It's also another 8 cm, yes? This part equals to this portion, this part equals to this portion, this part equals to this portion. So 1, 2, and 3. This 3 parts equals to 8 cm as well, right? So therefore, the perimeter is actually 14 cm plus 8 cm plus 14 cm plus 8 cm. So this equals to 44 cm. Well done, very good. Some of you managed to get 44 cm. So whenever we see a staircase question, right, the parts where it's vertical is always compensated right below, okay? Okay, done copying already? Okay, right. Okay, so let's do a bit of recap. So what we did today was area and perimeter, and there were level 1, 2, and 3 questions, right? So I'm just a little curious. For level 3 questions, right, can you type in the chat which question was the toughest one for 1, 2, or 3? I repeat, within the level 3 questions, right? There were 3 questions, right? Which one was the toughest one? 1, 2, or 3? All right. So most of you said question 1 is the hardest, and one of you mentioned 2 was the hardest. Okay. And one of you mentioned 3 was the hardest. Okay, so it's good to know the spread. Okay. So which means to say 2 was the easiest because only one of you mentioned 2. All right. Can. Okay. So for the upcoming assessment in October, right? So I understand that for primary 3 to primary 5 is a year-end examination and time is very limited. Okay. So it's a good time to bridge your learning gap right now. All right. Okay. So it has come to my attention, right? For primary 3 to primary 5. Primary 5 will be a SA2, whereas primary 3 will be called weighted assessment 4. Okay, why for primary 2 and 4 is called the weighted assessment 4, right? It's because for primary 3 and 4, there's no final year exam for you all, okay? So you guys will be exempted from SA2, okay? But however, you all will be given the school-based weighted assessment, which will provide an indication of the overall performance. And this is very important, especially for primary 4 students, because it's your streaming year, right? They call it the subject-based banding, okay? So based on your overall performance, the school will recommend a suitable subject combination for you. So it's very important for primary 4 students this year, okay? Okay, so recently, right, our centers were getting inquiries from parents who have been asking the following questions. Will there be enough time to improve your year-end assessment? What can you do to help, right? And what classes do you have? So the only answer that we have is that to make use of the PSLE marking holiday. So during PSLE marking holiday, right, is usually the time where it's a bit of like a downtime in school, right? So this is the best time for you to bridge your learning gap, okay? All right, so every year, right, we open up for you students during these 4 PSLE marking days to improve your learning and to bridge your learning gap, okay? So this is what we're going to cover during this boot camp. Okay, so take note. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cover all the major topics that you have learned from term 1 to term 4. The next, we'll revisit all your common misconceptions and reteach all the problem sum strategies, okay? And most importantly, you'll use the score method to help you improve your grades over a short period of time. Okay, so here are the schedule provided. So for primary 3, 4, 5, on the same dates, 20 and 21, in October this month, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, so I'm going to copy paste the link and put it over here. Give me a moment. Okay. All right, guys. So if you go click on this link, right, you will arrive at this page. So there's one for primary 3, primary 4, and primary 5. You click on any of these three links, it will link you to primary 3, 4, and 5. So in this website, right, it will tell you what we're going to on day 1 and day 2, the schedule, and the fees. Okay. So key in your name, your particular, your mobile number, which level you're in, and which mode you want, and we will attend, and of course click submit, right? And then we will attend to you within 1 or 2 working days. Okay. All right. So the slots are a bit limited, all right? So try and apply as quick as you can, okay? So I look forward to transforming your math grades within a short period of time. Thank you for your time. Have a good one, all right? Enjoy your weekends. Good night.